very warm welcome on behalf of the Industrial Software segment. My name is Joseph Altel, and I'm leading the partner ecosystem for industrial software. So our organization helps end customers in industry, in process and discrete manufacturing to generate value on top of our cloud technology with industry-specific solutions from partners. Today we'll announce a very important thing for us, which is the competency for industrial software system integrators. This is kind of the top of line ecosystem partners that we bring to the table when we talk with our customers. This is the partners that went with us the farthest, that have done the most checks, and that we also recommend to our end customers. So, but before we start, let me talk a bit about what is industrial software and why do we call it at all industrial software? Why don't we call it design and engineering? Why don't we call it manufacturing? We see industrial software as all applications and solutions that support the value chain of industrial end customers. This is product design, this is production design, this is smart factory production and operations. And why are we following this end-to-end approach? Just because if you really want to generate value, there's a chance that with a better CAD system, a better simulation tool, with an industrial IoT platform, you generate value in one specific element of the value chain. But talking to customers, what they're really interested in is this end-to-end, all data in the cloud, so that they can do things like in production in the design of a new product, for example, look at the wear of that product out in the field and make another and a better version of it. Or while producing a certain part of, let's say, sheet metal, looking at the design parameters and identifying why it breaks at a certain step of the production, producing scrap. So that all comes back from customer requests we had. We include a variety of products, ultimately 9 different sub-markets. And we are an open platform, and any company can work on top of our platform. For partner management, we have the AWS Partner Network, which is the standard tiers that we have from registered, select to advanced, which is a horizontal partner evaluation scheme. And then we have competencies, and competencies are those partners that lean into a certain vertical. And we started with ISVs. I learned that I need to click 2 times to see the ISV partners that went to our competency that we announced around a year ago in Munich. This is Autodesk and Siemens for design of mechanical elements. This is Cadence for chip design. This is Rescale for high performance computing or simulation of mechanical and other elements. This is Infor for asset management. This is Siemens MindSphere. This is a Relayer. This is Analytics for industrial IoT. This is also a backoff for industrial automation. With these solutions, we've tested for security, for availability, and for high scalability in industrial entities and industrial use cases. Because this is, again, backwards from the customer, what the customers that come to AWS demand from us. It's the same logic as we do in our services. We do, together with our partners, the heavy lifting and shifting, so that as soon as a customer in industry decides to go with one of the solutions on top of our platform, risk is reduced to a minimum. And this is super important for our industry. Their industry is approximately 1/3 of the global GDP, and it has a lot of assets. And every error, every failed project is immensely expensive. Sometimes this is putting the company at a risk. And therefore, these validated solutions, we call them competency partner solutions, provide a lot of value. I alluded already a bit to it. What do we do for competency partners? We really look at technology, but we also look at use cases in industry. So for every software solution for the ISVs, we look at what did that application bring in a concrete, for example, production scenario, and what does the customer say? Because ultimately, customer value add is the currency that we have in our industry. This is the standard applications. They are super important. a lot of domain knowledge goes into this industrial software applications. CAD systems have million lines of code. They help customers to jumpstart, to not reinvent the wheel, to get industrial best practices out of the box. But on the other hand, every production, every product is different. And as you have seen, our slides are normally pretty busy. It turns out industry is complicated. Every production line is different. Even if you go in an automotive company, the same cars are produced in different process steps in different areas of the world. And therefore, also solutions are required. And this is where our partners, the system integrators, come into play, because ultimately they generate with the help of industrial applications, standard applications, but also by implementing the specific use cases, they generate value for the end customer. And therefore, I'd hand over to Tengiz. Tengiz in our team leads the system integration practice globally, and he will guide through the rest of the competency launch. Thank you.
You can just have my microphone. So thanks, Joseph. Hello, everyone. We can have the clicker, that's important. So my name is Tengiz Kamlot. I'm the global SI practice leader for the industrial software. So I'm responsible for the SI ecosystem for the industrial software. So first of all, for more than a year, we've worked on this competency with our competency partners. We've worked with AWS teams such as Renate Melnick, which is our global competency manager, myself relentlessly on just getting this done. So we have these partners you have on the slide. First of all, congratulations. So I think this is worth a round of applause. So we have really appreciate. And the reason I think this applause is really due is they have been through a rigorous tech validation process. So it was important for them to prove to us that they have the expertise in at least one of the technical solutions provided by our technology partners. So they have done this. Now we can provide them to the customers. And this is also one of the reasons why I'm very happy to announce this today. Because in the end, this is why we even started this competency program, the Industrial Software Competency program. It's for the customers. So the customers out of the SI and ISV pairing will get a significant value. They will be enabled to focus on innovation and also will improve their core value processes. So also without further ado, I will ask each of the SIs to come to stage one by one, introduce themselves, and also show us what kind of value they create for the customers. First of all, to kick it off, I will ask Accenture, Marius, to the stage and tell us more about what Accenture is doing in the industrial software segment.
Thank you a lot. Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah. Let's take you through what we do with industrial software, particularly in the resources industry, which is chemicals, oil and gas, natural resources, and utilities, where many of our clients ask, what is really the value of digital in the core piece of manufacturing? Many come to us, they see it's clear, we do it in, let's say, finance and customer relations, but in engineering, our plants, they already had sensors before digital, so that's how we go about it. So, and this is where we also got to with Sumitomo. So the challenge of Sumitomo was to understand if at all digitization in their production would work. Would it give them additional benefit over what they already have? And do they have the entry criteria to really be successful with this? So we did various things. So on one side, they engaged on a big asset performance management program because they understood that there is a big lever in increasing their plant availability and OEE. And we also directly used the AWS platform together with some of our pre-built accelerators to see how this works in a concrete case where they had a problem at the end of production lines where unexpected breakdowns tended to basically mess up their operations effectiveness. And that's especially what we did in Sumitomo. So at the end of this exercise, they knew they are able, on one side, to retrofit the data that they had in legacy systems onto the Amazon platform and make it available to advanced asset performance management. As well, they knew if they go to a piece of critical equipment that used to break down too often, creating production line shutdowns, in the worst case on Friday at the end of the week, where you don't get the fixing engineers to fix it, they almost eliminated surprise shutdowns. They found out that for some of their pieces of this equipment, they can extend the runtime twice by understanding in which production the wear and tear of this particular equipment is how fast. And they understood that this is completely scalable to all of the cases where they have very particular equipment which does not get covered by out-of-the-box solutions like they might have them in industrial equipment that they buy from vendors that have this built in. So this was the game changer that Sumitomo used to be able to scale the digital transformation and the increase of operations efficiency in their production operations to bring Industry 4.0 or Industry 4.0 to digital production.
Perfect. So before you leave the stage, first of all, thank you for the great customer use case showing which value you're creating for our customers. But again, just appreciating the launch partners, as we know this has been a huge undertaking to come to this place and go through the process. We want to thank you guys. We have the obligatory photo, so please come to this side. So just for you guys, for Accenture, and for the achievements you have been through the technical validation process. Perfect. Thank you, Marius. Here we go.
Thank you.
I will take this for the next presenter.
Thank you.
Great. So let's continue with the next competency partner. And it's Capgemini. I would ask Pierre to the stage. Here you go, your microphone.
Thank you.
And your clicker.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yes, Capgemini and AWS is a very long-standing story because we are partners since more than 10 years, something like that. So I will not go through all the story because it's too long. But basically, let me check. Yes, no, this one. Sorry. So the industrial and manufacturing is a very specific area also for us because Capgemini was mainly an IT service company. So to fulfill some new requirements, new needs for companies and for the clients, so we developed a new dedicated unit to manage such case. So it was the digital engineering and manufacturing services, global business line. So that's just a group of experts in manufacturing, product, industrial products, data engineering, all this kind of stuff. So it's just a very powerful team that is able to clearly understand all the business and the problematic related to industrial and manufacturing. So based on this on this unit and all the competencies we already have with AWS, we were able to easily and quickly also respond to one specific case. So it was for LP. So LP, just to set up the scene, so it was Louisiana Pacific Corporation. So it's a US manufacturer for material building in wood. So mainly they are just providing some structural material, OSB, and all this kind of stuff. So to stay in the lead and to gain some competitive advantages, so the main problem for LP was to get better performance, more reliability, so all this kind of stuff. Because the main issue that everything was running, infrastructure and application, everything was running in-house. It was a pure on-premise environment. So to respond to this kind of demand, so as Capgemini, we propose to move everything from a data model and from a data center model to a full cloud environment. So with the support of AWS and all the expertise we can provide to support this kind of problematic. We design a full process of migration, because also one big important things to notice that it's all the application was concerned ERP, supply chain, logistics. So the only way to perform properly, it was a big bang. No way. So one shot, otherwise everything will fail. And you can imagine for this kind of problem in an industrial way, if you block the plant during one day, it could be a big mess for the company. So the project was pretty fast, less than 5 months, including design, migration, testing, everything. So, and what, I mean, it was very feasible to do that because Capgemini was able to provide all the expertise. We clearly show to the customer that we are able to understand the manufacturing issues, their real problematics, and with the support of AWS, we were able also to respond to any concern they may have, because as soon as we discuss moving to a public cloud, always you have concern regarding security and where will be my data and all these kind of questions. So it was pretty easy. So what we was able to achieve, so yes, better performance, 20% application performance improvement, quite good. Also, we were able to improve the logistic process, and the main thing was the load trucks was faster. That was a big, also better reliability. And also we already discussed to move forward, because as soon as you are moving to the cloud, what you can do is IoT, for example, predictive maintenance, everything, because now everything was running from the cloud.
So thank you, Pierre. It's a great example in the manufacturing segment, seeing how you can have an effect of improving the core value processes. As with Accenture, with all the partners coming up, you will also get an award. Thank you for being the launch partner. So let's take the picture. Thank you. Perfect. Great. So I will take this. Perfect. So this is yours. I don't want to take this. Great. So the next one, we already have the slides. Tom, come please to stage. Innovations on. Show us the value you're creating for our customers.
So hi, my name is Tom Simon. I'm Managing Director and founder of Innovations On. So you saw on the last few slides that there are all the big consulting companies, and I think we are one of the only small partners. Oh, sorry. You didn't see the slide? Now you see it. So we are just one of the smaller partners in this whole competency program. We have a small team, about 10 people, and we're focusing a lot of manufacturing stuff. Our headquarters is in Ulm, which is between Stuttgart and Munich in South Germany. So what we do is we have a lot of old companies. They are hidden champions. They really focus on their core business. So for that, I just want to show you a quick reference, which we have for a hidden champion. The company is called Zwick-Röll. You maybe never heard of them, but they do testing machines, and they're the global leader worldwide. So what they have is the central development of them is tracking all their stuff, which is to do in Jira, which is a Atlassian product. And they had a lot of problems with scalability, high availability, all the stuff. And what we did is we helped them to automate a lot of software they use in the process of developing their stuff. So they can fully focus on building their very good products to the global market, and we and AWS care about the software behind it. Yeah. And what we did is, it's fully automated, it's infrastructure as code, so we try to automate all the things we can. And the IT team of them can now fully focus on the cool stuff, and AWS has with a lot of managed service stuff, which enables them make new good products and help the development team to focus on doing their products and not managing IT problems.
So thank you, Tom. One thing to add, you may be small in size, but you're not less effective than the other partners we have in the competency. So as with the other partners, thank you for participating in the launch. This is the award. I will just give it to you in front of the camera so we can take a picture and you can remember all the efforts you put into this. So thank you, Tom. There you go. Thanks. Okay, so I already see Tata. So, there you go. You have the microphone. Tapan, there you go.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. As I think most of you in this room might be aware, we have a pretty rich experience when it comes to the engineering and the industrial. When it comes to the engineering and the industrial services. Okay, I'll just continue. It was just a logo in there, and yeah. So, and it's kind of been spread over close to 3 decades now, right? So during this time, we have helped numerous customers through a lot of the transformation journeys across the different lives, if you will, right? So right now we are all living in the Industry 4.0 life. That is what I mean by life. And through this process, primarily we have been leveraging a lot of partner technologies. So previously, until 3.0, at least in terms of the partners in this room, we have been predominantly leveraging a lot of technology that comes in from Siemens. And now that we are in the Industry 4.0 times, we are leveraging a lot of technology from AWS as well. Historically, so far on the cloud, but we are very excited in terms of some of the newer services that are now available to our customers with the launch of IoT. In fact, we have been co-partners in a couple of launch events for some of those let's say services as well, right? So essentially what we are now doing is we are leveraging all of these experience that we have to bring what we call as bringing life to things. And by doing that, what we are enabling for our customers essentially is, so you have a lot of these techniques like IoT, which is able to add context to the things that matter to you. Right? And what we are helping is we are bringing in our domain knowledge and our experience to augment this physical context with digital intelligence. And in this process, we are unlocking a lot of exponential value for our customers, be it in the form of improving their top lines by introducing new business models. Predominantly in the industrial space, we are seeing this in the form of moving away from selling products to selling the performance of products, or as a service, as most of us would be familiar with. Or it could be in terms of addressing the segment of one, like what we are doing for a lot of our CPG customers or FMCG customers. When it comes to pretty much across all the domains, what we are helping our customers with is improving their bottom lines or their margins. And this is, again, through a lot of different varieties of focus areas that they would have depending upon their own maturity and strategic initiatives. But typically, it would be focused around how I can improve my efficiencies, how I can improve my worker productivity and morale, how I can adhere to a lot of regulatory and compliance requirements, be it around safety or sustainability. So those are essentially, the kind of cases that we have. Unfortunately, it was getting very difficult for us, on two areas. One is to kind of get the clearances from customers for this short duration, to be honest. And the second one was also to really make a choice as to, in this given 5 minutes, what is that one case that I should be talking about, right? So that's where what we decided is, I will probably, Okay. What we decided is I will probably request the people in the room to actually go through our websites, and you would have a whole bunch of references in terms of customer testimonials and the work we have done for them. For the balance 2 minutes that I have, probably I would quickly walk you through a relevant one in this context where we are leveraging AWS Cloud. We are leveraging the partner platform in the form of MindSphere as an IoT platform. And we are actually creating something that we call as a smart factory solution for one of our own group companies. This is in India. And as part of this particular solution, we have finished off the first phase. And now that we have, so as part of the first phase, we have enabled quite a few use cases, most of them that are popularly sought out by our discrete and process customers, be it around improving visibility in terms of making the data more actionable and more insightful so that they can then convert these into real-world actions in time for them to realize the benefits. Right? So in terms of enabling those visibility, in terms of enabling effectiveness, so this is essentially leveraging the workflow capability, be it in terms of the quality function or be it in terms of the maintenance function. So these are the two use cases. We also have enabled autonomous and cobots there. We have just finished up the first phase, and as we talk, we are now progressing to the second phase, and I'm happy to share that for the second phase, there is no separate budgeting that these guys have had to request for. The first phase benefits are kind of funding their second phase. So that's what I would want to leave you all with, and I would encourage you to reach out to us through our partner channel as well, if there are any further questions that you have. Thank you.
So congratulations, Starpan. You passed the last test of your competency, so dealing with unexpected circumstances. So very well done. So as you already mentioned, I will say this also when we wrap up. When you have questions to the specific partners, just get in touch after the session. You will also have our contact details. Don't hesitate, whether you're a partner, you're interested in the program, or you're a customer, you want to get to know more with what the customers are doing and what the value they can create for your business. So let's go to the picture. That's yours. You can hold it.
Thank you.
I can hold your hand, if you don't mind.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great.
Thank you.
Cool. So let's ask the next one to the stage, and it's you, Stefano. Oh, sorry. That was my mistake, but here we go. Francesco.
Hi, I'm Francesco. I'm working for Reply as a managing director for Cloud and Big Data Managed Service Unit. So we do a lot of collaboration with AWS, and what I'm going to present here is one of our use cases that we did for Fastweb. I don't know if you know about Fastweb, but it's one of the biggest cloud provider for networking and for telco in Italy, but I guess they have also worldwide a lot of impact. What they asked us actually is something like to build for them a training like machine, and also like that they can have a virtual reality. So what does it mean? So in practice, when our customer and our in specific the team that is doing maintenance in the line, they ask us, can we build something that is in the real, that we can train those people so that when they have to react and when they need really to go to do some maintenance, some urgent maintenance, they already know what they can do and what is the option that they can do. So what we provided to them using, of course, the AWS services is that in the helmet of this machine, so this maintenance guy, so he's going there and then he's having a look in real time about this the option that he has to fix. So we already provide him like some feedback and some real-time feedback, of course. That's why it's also coming that was important to have in cloud, where we have lower latency, or where we have also the possibility to have a machine learning and to have image recognition all together, all in the same place. In this case, so the guy can already train, because of course, as it's a virtual reality, he can train already in his office, maybe, and then when he's going to the real fact, he can skip all the process that he has to think about. Okay, now I have to get some other option. I have to do this and this other way. So for us, was really important, and the customer focus was can I really have all the data like in real time in the cloud? Yes, because we achieved this. Can we also train those people with the same, based on same data, and we can also maybe provide a better feedback? Yes, we did also, because it was important, was one of the focus of our customer. But on the other hand, they also asked us, in fact, that's why we use as AWS Cognito, can we build something secure so that nobody else outside of the company can use this device, you know? And so someone maybe can clone and can have some like a testing machine like at home. No, in this case, what we provide to them is also a secure and safe environment. So, and the decision, of course, as we use the Lambda architecture, they can adapt based on the real scenarios. So this was one of the biggest achievement that we did in the industrial. Of course, is also thanks to AWS that we could achieve something really pretty fast. So that's why the go-to-market was really also another big achievement for our customer. Yeah. Thank you.
So thank you, Francesco. This shows also that partners are also considering the long-term effects, so also considering training people, training employees and the customers they help with, they move to the cloud to have a long-term effect. So thank you for this, and you will get also an award. I should actually give you two because I called you Stefano, but you will get one for now. The other one you will get another time. Perfect. This one. And then you have this. There you go. Perfect. Thank you. Good. So let's continue. Yes, it's your time, Ansgar, for the stage. We will have Siemens on the stage, presenting us their values.
All right. So you all probably wonder, why is Siemens here? Siemens is an industrial giant. We've been around for more than 100 years, and we are a product company. And you're like, why are they in this lineup of system integrators? Well, the answer is there's a new Siemens. There's a new Siemens business unit called IoT Services, which hasn't been around, or which only has been around since about April this year. And my name is Ansgar Kormal. I'm the head of strategy and partnerships for this business unit. Because we're new, I figured I need to talk a little bit about what we're doing. We have, for many years now, went through this digital transformation of Siemens internally. And we have learned a lot. We have created an ecosystem of technology partners and competence partners, which we have used internally. And now we decided we're bringing all of this to market. And we're letting our clients basically benefit from the experiences, the mistakes, the learnings that we had from doing it internally. So we launched IoT Services as a function where we bundled 500 business consultants who can help our clients to understand what is IoT. What should I do? What is my digital strategy? How am I successful with this? How can I make money? We combined them with engineers, more than 7,000 engineers, nearshore and offshore, to help them everything from like rapid prototyping, what does a solution look like, all the way through application development and full-scale rollout. So we're capable of helping our clients end-to-end, the IoT one-stop shop that's new within Siemens. You see a couple of stats here. A lot of people, 10 countries where we're already present with 21 offices. So we started right out of the gate big because we really believe we have something to offer to our clients that very few other people can offer. And we want to do this together with AWS because AWS is really a company that we are very proud to team up with. The first thing we did when we launched, we became an advanced consulting partner. We're on track. By the end of this year, we'll be a premier consulting partner, hopefully, most likely. And we've started to use, in the more than 100 projects that we've done since April, we've started to use AWS native. So when you think of all the other Siemens products, it doesn't have to be. We want to work with AWS, and we work with them native, specifically here in one example, which is a performance optimization tool that we have developed, first piloted, where we used AWS, and we prototyped it at about 10% of the cost that we would have had to spend if we did this with a server-based architecture. We realized that optimization in a manufacturing line is something that is typically done with static data, with the CAD drawings, with information you have that you collected over time. By doing this dynamically, by having an exact state of the machine based on our sensors and combining it with the information that we get from the ERP system, SAP in this case, we realized that we can optimize the throughput significantly. Based on the speed and the availability of the AWS cloud, we run a simulation every 45 seconds based on the status, what has changed with the machine, what has changed in the SAP system, and we are calculating the most optimal way to run whatever is being manufactured in this machine through the process. With the first prototype that we did at the beginning of the year, we saved between 30 and 50, my marketing guys told me to be vague, resources. So we were actually 30 to 50% faster, produced more. We have then implemented it in one of the Siemens factories in Erlangen on a production line, saw the same results there, and currently are implementing it in a different factory where we're not only combining one production line, but also multiple production lines with the prefabrication that all has to work together. So with this, we're seeing massive benefits working with AWS for our clients, creating efficiencies, creating more throughput without really heavily investing into new hardware or other things, but artificial intelligence and the cloud. So we're really proud to work together with AWS on this, and are looking forward to many more of those projects.
Thank you, Ansgar. Siemens, yet again, transforming, creating something very interesting. Looking forward to what to come. So, also for you, we will have an award. So, right. You can have it.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Thank you for joining the competency program. Great. Yeah. Okay. Last but not least, we have Jörg from T-Systems. So I guess you will be using the same laptop. I will leave this just here.
Yep. Thank you.
Yep.
So yeah, my name is Jörg Tischler, heading the connected car business of T-Systems, and we are now also part of this program. And I would like to guide you through what we're doing, especially for industrial competencies. We are in this program with multiple use cases. 2 of them are related to connected car, connected mobility, and this is where we are working for multiple customers. You see some of the logos top there, and basically, if you think of connected cars, that's what all of you are using every day. And the challenges of the OEMs are how to bring these connected cars into different markets, which have market specifics, regional specific requirements, always scaling up in terms of performance requirements, workload into the operations, because the number of connected cars are growing, the number of services we are all consuming are growing, the volume of data coming from cars back into back-end systems are growing, and that's exactly the challenges we are talking about here. And if you think about the car itself, it's no longer just a machine, it's a software-driven vehicle today, and it will be more and more software-driven vehicles when you think about, say, highly automated up to autonomous vehicles. So when we talk today about connected car backends, these platforms will develop in autonomous driving backends in the future. This might take a couple of months or years more, but nevertheless, this is basically what industrial competency and industry knowledge is made of. So what we are doing since a couple of years is building these platforms, operating these platforms. If you think of these things as platforms 5-6 years back, mostly on-premise, data center driven, and now the workloads are moving into the cloud more and more in terms of having the scalability and using the flexibility from the implementations. And this requires domain expertise, so you need to know what you're doing, obviously, to connect to the devices, which are the cars, to the sensors within the cars, and enable the different functionality, whether it's a remote command or remote status, whether it's over-the-air updates, all the things you are using actively in the car or even using them without knowing that they are in the cars today. And the combination of these kind of system integration services we are talking about here, connectivity service, which we bring with us from Deutsche Telekom, gives the bundle we are talking at. And with AWS now, we are on the way in moving things into cloud for our customers. This vary from customer to customer in terms of speed, in terms of the generations of platforms customers are operating today, and also vary by region. So China is different from North America, is different from Europe. And this is also something where transformation to cloud, transformation speed can vary. And we are looking at these specifics across the region as T-Systems. So the more we work with these kind of platforms, connected car platforms, the more we are, we are believing that this ecosystem is a strong advantage for the customers. And that's basically what this partner program is about, having an ecosystem of system integrators and a cloud provider for automotive customers. I would like to show you one example, because this is basically gives you a better understanding of what we are doing. Let me quickly unplug. Thank you. While we're doing this, talking about what we did exactly. This is the latest pilot we did on AWS. Thank you. The latest pilot we did on AWS, and it should give you a feeling on what does it mean to talk about connected car platforms. Thank you. Especially if you think of a connected car platform as a digital twin. So the platform itself holds everything a car sends every 30 seconds, every 20 seconds, every 5 seconds. So whenever you jump into a car, start the ignition, cars typically talk to a certain backend owned by the OEM, and this information are then either they used to evaluate or to present to the end user. And the example we developed here using AWS is a very simple one, because we're just talking about a couple of cars where we took this digital twin data, collect them over time, and start predicting what's happening in a specific case of repair notifications. So when we talk about 250 connected cars, that's quite simple, as I mentioned. So typical car fleets, one we are operating is 10 million of cars worldwide, and these numbers are massively growing. And you can imagine that the numbers of kilometers driven over time is tremendously increasing with the number of services behind. The value in these data are not yet explored, and we built here a very simple pilot which is showing basically the value of these data. So getting the data ingest from the cars, doing the data transformation with the AWS pipelines, so converting the data from raw as they're coming into usable data, and then to analytics. So everything on analytics, Lambda functions on AWS was used in here, and it's just a pilot which took us, I would say, 3 weeks to build. And it's not production ready as typical for pilots, but it's close to production ready because it takes already the inputs from the car. And the good thing is, and it's really a simple example, the prediction. And just to give you an example on prediction, these are 2 lines for 2 sample cars where we assess the failure probability for a certain component. As I said, very simple. So this car is expected to go back to the dealership and get a new battery. This car can continue for a while. And if you rethink this forward-looking, this also helps for instance, range prediction for e-mobility, taking different parameters into account. This is taking weather into account, for instance. So in winter, you have higher probability of failures. So, and that's where Amazon helped us very much to build this up very quickly. So we are continuing with this. We continue with connected car platforms and with these examples. Thank you.
So, thank you, Jörg. Looking forward to see where you're taking the pilot next. So, as again, you will get your awards.
Thank you.
Again, we have the representatives here up on stage. Thank you for all the partners for being part of the launch. But behind all these strong leaders, we always have teams. So also a quick shout out to the teams also supporting the launch. And This doesn't just count for the partner teams. Of course, Renata, please come to stage. She's our global competency manager and also was a driving force on all of this. So here we go. It's flowers, and your tech validation actually will be getting those flyers alive back to Seattle. So, but also a picture. So we're taking a picture too, and thank you so much. Really appreciate it. So without her, we wouldn't have like the competency launch. So we have it. Thank you. So with that, we're wrapping up the session. Enjoy the networking outside, and hopefully, if you have some questions or anything you want to add to the presentation we had, questions for the partners, just get in touch with us. This was too fast, but we will distribute it anyways, so you will be able to download the presentation, and then just get in touch with us. So thank you for joining the session.